such an asshole.
Ba-ba-da-da-da. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. It's grand. Just holding your hand. Let's go get drunk and go have sex in the back of the truck. All right. Calm the fuck down, Aaron. All right. We got to look. Here's where the client. The client has a question. He's getting pelted. You know, all the miserable baby boomers now, Gen Xers, who just like miserable with the fat spouses and not good sex. When you gonna join us? Those are called harpies. And I swear to God, I'm gonna become Van Helsing with my wooden stake, and I'm gonna drive this stake through this Dracula's heart. But the benefit is, but the financial bill. What if you're gonna die? What about power of attorney? I'm going to. Now, that's not going to prevent them from stop harping. Harpy's going to harp. And it's up to you guys to tell everyone to fuck right off. If you need to plagiarize or use this video, I give you express permission to copy the link and send it to them. And hey, harpies, and what about this? Fuck you and shut up. It's a good question. It is. He's got some good. It's a discussion that needs to be a topic that needs to be discussed. So let's go through his request here. Disclaimer: this is a devil's advocate exercise. This is not a gotcha to try to get you to endorse marriage. No man should get married. End of story. Right. Well, think about this. Right. Already the premise. Ladies, it's exclusively you who's arguing this. If you have to resort to, well, what about the tax benefits? Have you thought about that? Well, what if you're dying? And you know, you've had decades together, but there's that last 5 minutes. What if he can't see you when you're on your deathbed? You think about that? Oh, shit, the last 5 minutes when I'm not even conscious? Oh, yeah, you're right. Let me fucking sign away my fucking life here. The absurdity. If you're making these arguments, the anti-marriage camp has won. I mean, right? Shouldn't be about love and money and tax. Forget the money, the tax benefits. I know that's money, but you get a tax deduction. You get a tax deduction. Oh shit! Well, now it's erect. Now, oh man, oh, am I in love? So, he's got a good point. Old man from South Dakota. What are the benefits exclusive to marriage? And he ain't even talking the romantic ones. I can only think of 4. Weakness in these arguments are found towards the bottom. They are health insurance. When one takes on a dependent, he is able to extend health coverage to the dependent. You assume your employer's offering health insurance. There's a lot of assumption with these, you know, which is likely cheaper on a per person basis. If there are health insurance plans in America, they're able to be expended to non-dependents, i.e. non-spouses. I have not heard of them. It depends on the state. I did a little bit of research. Partners, and then you run into the trap where if you're like, oh yeah, this is my partner, you're presenting yourself under some state laws as husband and wife, and you are de facto married. Guys, unless you got a health condition, you can find reasonably affordable catastrophic health insurance. So, boom, we're done with this argument. or yeah, I guess we have to pay more health insurance. I guess so. That's not enough for me to go put a ring on you. 2, taxes. Some married couples benefit from favorable tax scenarios. However, and I'm not an accountant, these are case by case. Yes, they are, and I looked them up. And let's address this now because it's an opportune time. There are 4 main ones, and they're not. Over the years, they have, Congress, meaning they, have eliminated unfairness between treating singles versus married couples, jointly versus fine single. They've kind of made it's fair treatment regardless of how you file. So there is one, the earned income tax credit. All right. That depends on how many children you have, but we're not talking about children now, are we? So the earned income tax credit, you can earn, I believe, if you make less than $18,000, and that's $632 a year. A year. Ooh, 632 whole dollars? Oh my God. I mean, here. Oh. It also shows you how ignorant people. Well, there's tax benefits. Where'd you hear that? I just heard it from they. Oh, they say.com. Well, it's fucking true then. Yeah, I guess you do. You get to $632. Now, if you got children, that's a different issue. You're just talking about marriage, right? So you get $632. Then there's the marriage penalty. This is one of those things where they say, oh, you could get into a lower income tax bracket. No, not anymore. They've harmonized that. They've made it whether you're filing jointly or separately. Do not get different brackets. However, it's the opposite. At very high levels, at the 37% tax level, and this is 2022 data. So, and I was too lazy to look up 2024. So fuck off. Oh God, how boring do we want to be? The combined income, you should pay the same taxes whether you're filing separate or jointly, right? And when you combine your taxes, you file jointly, the IRS says, oh, well, that's two people, so we kind of adjust for a per capita basis. So since you're filing jointly, we won't take your nominal number because that will overstate and put you in a higher income tax bracket. We're going to, oh, you're jointly. So here are the new tax brackets for married filing jointly. So it's the same as if you were single until you get above 647. In which case, they don't provide a caveat for that. Like, oh, 647 together, here's your high tax bracket, which I believe is the 37% tax bracket. So at that point, it pays you to file separately. So there's no benefit. You don't get, there's some deductions you might be able to get. We'll talk about those a little bit here with the IRAs and all that. But generally, no, there's not really tangible tax benefits. Unless tax benefit number 3, you are exceptionally wealthy. So you're going to die, right? And if you leave your estate to your betrothed, your beloved, 13.6 million, according to 2022, can be passed on tax-free. That's the exception or you don't have to pay an estate tax on that above 13.6 million. You go above that, and then you got to pay an estate tax on that. So you could pass on an estate to your spouse tax-free. The above that, yeah, then you got to pay a tax. But 1, you're dead, so I don't know whether you're going to care or not. And 2, how many people have an estate above $13.6 million? I mean, yeah, it's a tax benefit, I guess, but it doesn't apply to the vast majority of people. So for you, me, and everyone else, there's another, oh, okay, well, if I ever get me my 13.7 million, I'll consider that. So no, effectively, it just doesn't apply to anyone. And then you get to have an IRA contribution if one spouse is working and the other is not. So I forgot about this a long time ago, but I remember, I'm like, oh yeah, there is that. So let's say you're working, your wife isn't. She gets to contribute up to $7,000 in a year, which reduces the tax burden, right? You don't get 7,000. That's not like you get this. That's a tax deduction, and roughly given at tax rates, that's the real value of it. How much did you save in taxes? Ever so roughly, I'm going to estimate around $2,000, which I don't know, 30% is that? I don't know what the number is. So $2,000. So when you could, unless you're exceptionally wealthy, making over 647,000 or whatever it is in 2024, or you have an estate that is $14 million, let's just say, the average, and by average, I mean 98% of you, ever so roughly, the benefits of marriage, this is assuming your spouse ain't working, is $2,600 a year. Just some real quick back of napkin ballpark math. There's your tax benefits, $2,600 a year. In other words, fuck off with your tax benefits. I'm sure someone who's an accountant, maybe Chad Elkins, could further inform me on that. But yes, your tax benefits are not compelling. Girls are going to piss away more on the cake on her dress on the wedding night than you're going to get in tax benefits. Mortgages and house. 3 mortgages and houses. You having once been in the banking industry probably have a keener insight to this than I do. It is my understanding that non-married couples could get a mortgage together, but banks generally look at married couples slightly more favorably when considering these loans. Not really and not officially. What banks are looking at is 2 incomes versus 1. So you can have a co-applicant or co-signer on a loan. You could technically have as many co-signers. You could have like 5 people go in together on a mortgage. It's not that you're married, it's that there's 2 people to guarantee the mortgage, which lowers the risk. But you don't have to be married. The married part isn't that. Now, is there perhaps more back in the olden days, a young couple comes in and a banker outside of taking the numbers and crunching the numbers, would there have been a bias towards, well, they're a married couple, so they're committed, and there's this intangible pro to lending money to a married couple? Probably in the past, yes. But today, especially, I mean, non-discrimination, although I've never really you can't discriminate against non-married couples. I don't think that was ever there. In terms of underwriting today, especially now that it's all automated, and you just get the number, they're co-signing. Here's the two people. Either they file jointly, which would simplify the underwriting for the analyst because it's all on one tax return, or there's 2 people. You take both tax returns and you combine them, effectively making it a joint income tax statement. That is why you prefer. I mean, technically, if you had like a swingers group, how many? There's 12 people and they're all swingers, but they're all going to live in the 12 people. That's 12 incomes. All right. So yes, there's a benefit, but it's not because they're married. It's because there's more than one person paying back and guaranteeing the loan. Plus, there may be stronger, clearer legal protections coming with joint ownership of a property for married persons. That I don't know. That might be a state issue, maybe even county. I know if you don't pay, both people don't pay, bank don't care. They will. Well, okay. The bank's going to care, but depending on the bank, they'd never repossess, like, oh my God, repossess collateral? What are you talking about? No, let's extend and pretend. That's a different discussion. But no, I don't believe, look, you're not paying the loan. You're not paying the loan. The banks should start repossession. So there's not a benefit to marriage. You just co-sign the loan. 4, critical condition visitation rights. Right now, you could solve this with a living will. You grant people power of attorney. You grant people visitation rights. I just went through this process. You say, yes, that person could come visit me. Yes, this person is allowed to make decisions on my behalf. You go talk to an estate lawyer and you grant your girlfriend, your significant other, not your wife, that permission. And you're done. There you go. That one is particularly pernicious is the word I'm looking for. Sly, underhanded. Like how desperate are you to make a bad contract go, ladies? But what if you're dying? As well, we should have. I mean, what is it with you? Like the best is the best part of waking up is the marriage and death in your marriage cup. Like, is it just the wedding day and then the last 5 minutes where you're? What about in theory, 50 years in between? Shouldn't that be the thing? No, it's like her day, and oh my God, what if I can't see him in the last minutes? Well, you had 50 years with them in theory. The fuck? I don't know if that tugs at the heartstrings or something. Maybe I'm a cold bastard, but I'm thinking like, well, we should have spent a lot of time before the death. And me, I'm doing the Smith and West, man. You're not going to see me. It's not, no. I'm not going to put you people through that. I'm not putting myself through that. So let's just read it here. Critical condition visitation rights. Notably, this is the only one that isn't directly concerning money, right? You should get married because of money. What about that love thing? Oh, no, tax benefits. Hey, $2,600, huh? Mm-hmm. Think about that. Say I had a wife. If she passes into a coma, I could visit her in her hospital room. On the other hand, let's say I just had a long-term girlfriend. In this scenario, the hospital is under no obligation to allow me to enter the room. Correct. Unless you got that written down in an estate. Now, it's living will, estate planning, but living will is technically not estate. Talk to a lawyer. Not to introduce politics, it's not political, but gay couples have been facing this for decades. Hey, what if my partner go like, yeah, well, there you go get a living will. Now, will it vary state by state? Yes. So you got to go talk to a lawyer. But I'd rather talk to an estate lawyer than a divorce lawyer. But there, fourth stake in the fucking heart of Dracula. We're done with this shit. Are there technically some very minor financial benefits to getting married? Yes, there are some very minor tax benefits, of which most of you are not going to qualify for because you either don't make enough money or you're not going to make so much money but then you'd be penalized for the marriage tax at the higher income tax bracket. So there are very minor tax benefits. Yes, you probably would save some money on health insurance. But man, if that's your argument for marriage, ladies, that's fucking pathetic. I don't know. How about you all stay thin and hot and commit to one another and we have some great sex? How about that? Is that? No, it's her day. And then, oh my God, I can't see my comatose husband. Quick, sign this document. We're never going to, dude, there's only a 50% chance you're going to make it to the death do you part thing. No, absolutely not. It shouldn't matter. I know you'd all like to see loved ones go. You like to be there by their bedside. That a lot of times you don't control that. If you're focusing on those last final moments instead of the fucking 50 years you should have had being together, fuck you. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's why you shouldn't be getting married. And using that as a scare tactic. Fuck off. Why am I asking? I'm a 30-something man. I get into a lot of, so when are you going to find a wife scenarios? I don't know why does that bother you people so much? People keep asking me, when am I going to find a guy? When am I going to find a girl? Tell them to fuck off. Tell them the truth. Well, when there's a shit piss quality of people around, I'll let you know. If my simple, I just don't want to get married response is not enough for the person asking, I'll whip out this argument. While it's often not enough to get him or her to fully back off, it is fairly successful in getting the person to ask or to at least understand my position. Some people get into a tizzy when I explain how benefits traditionally ascribed to marriage are not themselves exclusive to marriage, love, commitment, kids, someone to take care of you when you're older, but that's a whole different situation. Right. The arguments, and this is where the debate, no, seriously, tell me what are the benefits of marriage? I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it fucking again. And this is not shtick. This is not edgy. The world, okay, the culture and his society in the United States, can't talk about other countries, has evolved, some would say decay, to the point that there are literally no benefits to marriage. None. You can get everything that was good and wholesome and wonderful out of a marriage with a committed relationship. You do not need to sign the legal contract. There is no upside, only downside to signing a marriage contract and getting married. You can get love. You could get sex. You will get more sex not being married than being married. You can have someone say, I will take care of you. Right? Just signing a piece of paper doesn't make it that you're going to be loving and caring and there for the other person. That is a personal choice on both people's part, because I don't know how many times we got to bring this up. 45% of the time, the marriage fucking ends, and then God help you almighty if you're in a marriage and they still don't fuck you, they still don't take care of you, they still don't love you. There are tons of sexless, loveless marriages, right? And I estimate only 14% are happy. All right, so what is a 1 in 8 chance? About 1 in 8, 1 in 7, right? So marriage or not, that's no guarantee you're going to get the benefits of marriage. It's up to two people whether they fucking like each other. I mean, forget love, like just like you like the guy, you like the gal. Oh my God. I need to push her around in her wheelchair. She's just a great gal. I'm going to do that. Oh my God. I wouldn't think of anything else. That has nothing to do with that piece of paper. You can get everything, every fucking thing that is good out of traditional marriage simply by having a committed relationship. You do not need to, and you should never fucking sign that document. And with a little bit of legal arrangements, a living will, powers of attorney, things like that, somebody who's an estate lawyer could correct me on the terms. You could have all the benefits of marriage minus that precious $2,600 a year, of which it's really more like $2,000 a year, which also assumes one of your spouses ain't working. They're just, listen to me. I'm stating a black and white fact. This is not an opinion. There are no benefits to getting married, period. There you go. There's no but. No, shh, you're a dead Dracula harpy. You have 4 stakes in your heart. Shut the fuck up now. Some people get into a tizzy when I explain how benefits traditionally ascribed to marriage are not themselves exclusive to the marriage. Love, commitment, kids, but that's a whole different discussion. I'm asking because, one, I want you to help me enhance this argument. There you go. Use this video. There are some here's the short answer. There are some very microscopic, situation-dependent tax benefits to marriage, but for the average person, they do not exceed $3,000 a year. There's one answer. So there's your tax benefit. 2, the living will, you can ascribe that in a living will document. You do not get any. You could co-sign a loan. You don't. It's not marriage. It's the fact that there's 2 applicants co-sign a loan for a mortgage. And then, yes, health insurance is cheaper, but that presumes you are getting health insurance from your employer. So then what you do is determine, so your entire argument is because we get cheaper health insurance, we should ignore things like that's compelling enough reason for marriage is cheaper health insurance. Okay, cheaper health insurance. Got it. Want you to help me enhance this argument. There you go. And 2, this argument may help some in your audience who find themselves in similar go find a wife scenario. No, you tell these people to fuck off. Guys, this isn't, I don't know. I don't care if it's your parents or some miserable spinster that wants to see you. You just say, no, that's absolutely ridiculous. You dismiss it out of hand. You're like, no, I'm not getting married. It's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous proposition. I can get love and romance and sex outside of marriage. And I'll tell you the story again. We're over at the cigar lounge. All the guys are there. There's the GF, relatively new to town. People they hadn't met the GF yet. And the one gal says, oh, how long have you guys been dating? About 15 years. Well, why are you going to get married? Oh, I like sex too much to get married. Every guy fucking laughed. Every girl got pissed off. Go fuck yourselves, because we all know it's true. And I don't care why these harpy Draculas are arguing for you to invite them into their house, into your house. It doesn't, you just say, no, there's no reason to get married. Absolutely none. And you say exactly what, I can get everything I need out of marriage without being married. There's no reason today. And if you don't have to win the argument, but the quick performative bullet that will end that argument in front of everyone is like, oh no, I like having sex too much. There it is, because everybody knows. Everybody knows. And then just like, oh no, I like sex too much to get married. And you, flawless victory. Weakness, health insurance. This has become, now you continue on with this weaknesses. Health insurance, this is becoming less relevant in these modern times, given the increase of two-income households. If both spouses have access to income, it is likely both have access to employer health insurance, thus diminishing the need to rope one dependent into the insurance plan or the other. Joint coverage would be more about per person cost than access to coverage. 2, taxes. Again, this is case by case, given all the factors that make up the tax situation. While filing jointly as a benefit becomes a crapshoot. Yeah, more or less, but in the vast majority of instances, it's not even $2,600 because most of you are going to make over $18,000 a year. It's really like $2,000 if one spouse isn't working. You take away that, there's zero benefits, really. 3, ease of getting a mortgage. Houses are expensive, married or not. If a gal I was dating said we should get married so banks look at us more favorably when considering the purchase of home, I would stop seeing that woman. Or you say, well, here's another thing, and this is outside of marriage. You never co-own a home with a woman. You never co-own a home with anyone. You never go into business with anyone. You never take on a business partner. I'm going to tell you again, guys. She owns a home. You own a home. You can have all your shit you want in your home. I will make sure none of your shit is in my home. Honey, look at that. That would look great in your home. Oh, and then you see like, oh, you took away their power to fuck up your home, to throw off your feng shui. But I want to throw a bunch of crap into your home. I know you do, sweetheart. You're a girl, I understand. But your house, I think that would look great at your house over there. Okay. You want some fries? No, I don't want any fries. Can I have some of yours? No. Oh, that's the real. It's the fries and the stuff. It's the same argument. She doesn't want fries. She wants your fries. And the answer to that is no. Here's your own bag of fucking fries. As for legal protections, how many divorced men are forced to pay the mortgage of houses they don't say? Oh yeah, but you don't have to convince me of the argument. Look, here's what it boils down to. At one time, men and women were men and women. They were responsible, supporting adults. And they played their roles, their supporting roles in society. Now you have parasitic, both men and women, who are looking to try to do the least amount of work possible. And that includes things like marriage or committed relationships. I throw men in there too, because it's not always women who just divorce the guys. I mean, there's a lot of guys who don't work and all that. You have adult children in the United States. You simply are not mature enough to handle marriage. It's not for American adults. You're all a bunch of thumb-sucking babies looking to avoid work. So there should be no business engagements between the both of you. Whether that's forming an LLC with your best sports ball buddy from high school, bro, or a marriage, which I don't know what the fuck the purpose of a marriage license is, or co-ownership of a house. No. Nope. Not going to happen. And that doesn't matter, married or not. You don't know. This is my house. That's your house. Or that's your apartment. Absolutely not. 4, critical condition visitation rights. No weakness. This is a straight up benefit. God forbids a loved one ever be in this scenario. You're going to be in this scenario. Okay. There's 2 arguments here. One, go get the legal permission from estate planning, living will, lawyer, expert. Okay. You give I forget what the right is. but you grant them that right. The other thing is you're all guys, if the most important thing of a relationship is that you get to see someone at their deathbed for the last 5 minutes of their life, you have your priorities wrong. The time was to spend it with them when they were alive. All right? That's like my grandma died recently. Was I at her bedside? No. But I don't have any guilt or shame or anything like that. The woman lived a great life, 97 years old. I got to see her before she passed away, right? A lot of people, you don't even get that. They just don't wake up one day, or they get hit by a truck. Would it be nice to see them? Yes, but you're going that way anyway. If we're worried about, oh my God, but you won't be at their bedside, then what the fuck were you doing the past 50 years? So there you are. Please send me how much for video. Keep me anonymous, obvious. There we go. All right. Link below. For the love of God, I hate to say this. Y'all got to get over this love shit. Okay. Is there true love? Is it really? Yes. And you know what? If someone actually loves you, you don't have to worry about any of this shit. But dude, in 95% of the cases, it's all transactional. All right. I you get these great love stories. You see these couples. Oh, they were married for 72 years and died within an hour of each other because they truly loved each other. Dude, God, that is like one in thousands. One in thousands. You must have a more practical and accurate understanding of romance in the United States. It is almost always transactional. You might be in love, the other person isn't. They're in transaction. Okay. They're totally in transaction with you. You might be in transaction. They might be in transaction. You can have a very mature adult conversation about that. But until I see it's common that couples are married for 50 years and they die happily ever after, I'm sorry. We got to play by the rules by which everybody else is playing by. And so you got to stop. Oh, pie in the sky. No. What's happening? This is happening. All right. If it's transactional, we're not doing this marriage shit. And to be perfectly honest, all marriage does is complicate it. The girl loves you. She's going to love you. That's it. You love the girl. You're going to love the girl. That's it. You don't need this fucking pomp and circumstance ceremony with the shit ton of legal liability that comes with it. Go watch James Sexton. He'll tell you he was a fucking divorce attorney. He has many, I'm just looking at it from a risk assessment. There is no upside potential. None. I mean, look, here's how bad marriage is. Let's say you're looking at a gal and she's got the herp, right? Sleeping with her has an upside potential. You get to have sex, right? Marriage would be, well, we're just going to expose you to the herp virus with no sex. There's like a 50-50 chance you're going to get it. You don't even get the sex. The fuck out of here with that biased, one-sided, what is it? Roller calls it an unconscionable contract. That's exactly what it is. An unconscionable contract. You do not get married. Sorry, ladies. Terribly sorry. All right. Let's go to the super chats. Oh, link below the book of Numbers. So you guys can open your eyes and realize how transactional things are. The book of Numbers, analyzing the ROI and the pursuit of women. Please get that book. If you still have emotions and feelings, I understand you're human. You're not advanced like me. All right. Catch up. Go put the numbers in your head so you realize, oh shit. Oh yeah, oh shit. Yeah, no kidding. I'm not saying give up your entire humanity, but you got to give up this pie in the sky, wide-eyed puppy dog bullshit. Let's go to the super chats. My truth, the king. That's right. They write it OFG. They write it off. That's right. They write it off, Jerry. Ace Montana, tied for the second most American name in America. I say I've seen too many divorces wreck lives of too many men, which isn't too far from the truth anyway. I'll stay single before I sign that paper. The fact marriage has such a high failure rate, and it is so devastating, especially to children. And you still have the Dracula harpies arguing for it. It's almost to the point like, I'm not going to argue with you about the stupidity of marriage. I mean, you just laugh at it. I'm like, no, you're wrong. Well, yeah, okay. I mean, maybe it has you have some benefit from this research, preliminary research I did. You say, well, yeah, $2,600 isn't enough for me to get married. But I would just laugh at him like, get married today? 45%? No, this is not happening. That is not happening. And if you want, carry a copy of the Book of Numbers, because I go through all the marriage statistics and all that other stuff and say, here, read this, and you tell me. But I would just laugh at him like, no, I like sex too much to get married. It's not happening. And then your authoritative laugh and demeanor will indicate to them like, yeah, lady, I know you're bullshitting me. So let's just cut it off here right now. All right, let's just knock this off. Fuck Seeds for $5. Thank you, Fuck Seeds. $5 from Dicastinator. I'm dating a woman. I've had a vasectomy and we won't have kids. She won't change her last name, but wants to get married. Woman logical. No! What? No! Oh, Dicastinator, tell me you're laughing at her, man. Dating a woman. You had a vasectomy. You're not going to have kids. She's not going to change the last name, but she wants to get married. Woman logic laughed out loud. No. Really? I'm sorry, lad. Now, do I understand why women have this obsession of getting married? Not really. Could it be they all want to have her day or several of them? Do they like the idea of commitment, even though like at half the time they're going to pull the cord? I don't understand fully what motivates them towards getting married. I can't claim to know that. But ladies, I don't need to understand your motivations, and I don't have to honor, let alone meet your desires. No, guide. It's over. It doesn't matter how much you want to get married. Doesn't matter what genetic or by. It's over. The internet. Okay. The baby boomer divorce Olympics, roughly starting in 1973 and going into the 90s. That set the tone, right? That moved the pendulum from pro-marriage to anti-marriage. Then Gen X, they didn't learn their lesson. They got the exact same divorce rates. And then there's other sociological things going on. You really turned up the feminism. And now the younger ladies like, girl boss don't need no TikTok, chick boss in a mini. And now we have two generations of men getting the internet is exposing it all. It's off the table, ladies. Sorry. The marriage is not on the menu, ladies. You got, men want to have a wonderful woman and sex. You girls want to have commitment and I don't know. All you can eat buffet. I have no idea what I really don't. But there's no marriage. You don't get that. That's done. But how do we get married? Oh, well, see, there's a counterparty to marriage. It's called men. Now, let me tell you about these fascinating creatures. They're kind of like women, but a little different. And even though there's a little difference, it results in a completely different set of motivations, preferences, and incentives. And this is going to be the difficult. It's just crazy idea. You have to realize they are also human beings. And in order for them to come to the negotiating table, you must deliver on their preferences. That's a very foreign concept of considering what other people want, let alone recognizing their fellow human beings with sentience and soul and consciousness. But they I just can't get a dog. The dog's got to eat, this is a topic for another time. I don't want to get through advanced philosophy here. That's fascinating, diecasted air. That's hilarious. Just there's that default setting. Like, I want to get married and I'm going to be an insufferable pain in the ass. You know what's great? We didn't have it in the analog days. We were just getting this shit kicked out of us. We didn't know where the shelling was coming from. We didn't know why. You boys are no longer confused. You are so more street smart. You know what's going on. The internet is showing it all. We got data. We got numbers. We figured out. You guys are you are so not going to be confused like we were back when we were kids or younger men. You know the lay of the land. You actually know the rules of the game. It is good to see. It is good to see. Bob, $5. Do you think if enough men do limb lengthening surgery, women won't value height as much? I heard the surgery has become more popular. Okay, look, by the laws of supply, if you flood the market with something, it becomes less valuable. So if we all did the leg lengthening surgery, which there's not that many people doing that, that's an exception. If the average height for a guy, I think the average height is 5'9", those bastards. And every guy did the length surgery. Now they're 6 feet tall. Well, then the average would be up to 6 feet tall. Women are going to want 6'1", 6'2". If all girls went from A cups to C cups, guys are going to start demanding D cups. Yeah, but that's absurd. That's like the argument when I came up, the truly low IQ people out there, when I came up with my book Worthless. We can't all major in engineering. Did you know that if we all major in engineering, then the value of an engineering degree will go down? Yes, but so few people are going to major in engineering. It's not going to have an effect. My book is not going to flood the market with engineering majors. People are just too lazy. They don't want to do the math. So the leg lengthening surgery thing, I doubt there's less than 1,000 of those surgeries a year. I could be wrong, but I just don't think it's that common. Christianity Unplugged, 10 generous dollars. Cappy is on fire today. Remember, it's like playing Russian roulette. No, it's not. Russian roulette is a 1 in 6 chance of you dying. You got a 5 in 6 chance if you don't. That's like playing flip of the coin death. I mean, it really is. It's flip of the coin death. Remember, it's like playing Russian roulette, not only with your life, but your posterity of being completely wrecked. And let us not forget children. I know we just drop off those things at daycare. Oh my God. It's just in the way. Don't they know I'm just supposed to have them? And that's that? Somebody, not me, raise my children. Oh my goodness. I gotta be a girl boss G in a minute. No, I wish it was 5 out of 6 times you succeed. Even if it was 1 out of 6, no, I'm not ruining my finances. But man, that small head really blinds men to common sense. All right, link below. The book numbers analyzing the ROI and the pursuit of women. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.